Hey YouTube, how's it going today? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards back with another video for you guys. Couple things I want to go over today. One, just a quick mail day. I got a few quick little cards I picked up, nothing too crazy. And then I have 4 cards for you guys that are drastically mispriced in my opinion. So that's going to be the crux of what we're going to talk about today. And before we get into that, because I always forget, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are closing in on 200 subs very rapidly. So if we could go over 200 subs with this video, that would be fantastic. So, all right, let's get into it. I don't like doing all the YouTube shenanigans. Recent pickups. So, we have, this is going to be a Nets-centric stuff. I have continued to pick up some Jarrett Allen stuff on the news that DeAndre Jordan is not going into the bubble. So this was all one lot that I got. This is 3 optic-based rookies, and it included a Prism rookie. And I got this for $6, including shipping. So under $2 a card. This guy could be nothing. These could be worthless in 3 weeks, or they could triple up fairly easily. It wouldn't take much at this entry point price-wise to go way up. So, got picked those up. I also picked up on the next Nets-centric theme, Ronald Kirkus, or Rodnios, whatever, however you say his name. I play a lot of NBA DFS. This guy got some run prior to the shutdown of the league. He showed some flashes. And if you guys should be aware by now, the Nets are decimated on their roster. So this guy's going to get a ton of minutes. And his stuff is dirt cheap. As you guys know, Prism is king when it comes to rookie cards. I got 23. See, this is a big stack. 23 of his base rookies for $15. Now, this could be $15 that I lit on fire very easily. But 23 Prism rookies for $15 of someone that's going to get a crap ton of minutes in the, the last 8 games, plus the Nets are probably going to make the playoffs. If he has a few good games, I don't need his cards to go up that much money to make a nice profit on this. If they go to, $5 a card maybe he has 2 or 3 good games in a row, that's well over $100 on a $15 investment. If they go to $5 a card, I could flip them for, plus 30 easily. That's not even, so just a low value shot in the dark, but sometimes they pay off. I also stopped by a not local. I was in an area about 2 hours away from here, and stopped into a card shop that I'd stopped in before that I've picked up some pretty good stuff from in the past, and I came across these in their random bins. 2 Jamal Murray select rookies. And these are the base, the concourse level, but $2 a piece. These sell on eBay for more than this already. So I've already made money on these if I just sell them right now. And then another good one was this Jonathan Isaac. 2 base rookies, $3 a pop. These go for like $12 a piece right now. Once again, he has a couple good games in the bubble. Maybe these shoot up. These are actually both really well centered. I haven't checked surface on them yet, so if he actually played really well, these could potentially be grading candidates, but I'll most likely probably just sell them raw. So that's a couple quick pickups. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. So 4 cards that I believe are completely mispriced. So on the main screen here, you could see I got the charts up. The first guy we're going to talk about is Jason Tatum. And you guys have heard me talk about Select a lot. If you've watched the previous videos, we're going to talk about Select again for the purposes of Jason Tatum. So, what we have on the graph here that you guys can see on the screen is Jason Tatum Concourse and Jason Tatum Premier. These bottom two lines are the raw. These top two lines are PSA 10s. So, first thing you should notice, the top two lines are very close together for the most part. This Concourse and Premier jump around a lot. But the purple line is the Concourse. This darker line is the Premier. Down here, the yellow line is the Premier. The pink line is the Concourse. So let's scroll down here to the charts. If you're not familiar with Select, Concourse is the base level card. Premier is the short print card. And Courtside is the super short print card, essentially, to break it down. So, let's start with PSA 10s. Actually, let's start with Raw. Raw Concourse, $60 end average. And this chart goes back 30 days. But we're going to go with the end averages because that's the most current. They started 30 days ago, they were $24. And they've shot up to 60. The Premier level Raws are selling for $75, so only $15 more. But it is a decent amount more. And you notice here you could see about the pop counts. 68 of these sold. Only 26 of these sold. So they're about a third harder to find, give or take. Let's look at the PSA 10s. And this is where we get into... to me, I think this gap should be farther apart. This 60 and this 75. That's not terrible, but I believe that should be separated out more, given the more scarce nature of the Premier. But let's look at the PSA 10s. PSA 10 Concourse, $289 is what the end average was. Pop count, now I'm not the biggest person of pop counts in the world, but these are extremely low, so that does matter a little bit more. Pop count on this, 252. $300. PSA 10 Concourse Tatum. Premier PSA 10 Tatum. There's no pop count shown here. PSA's website has been really jacked up the last week in regards to pop count. Last I checked this, it is in the 70s on this card. And you can see only 4 have sold in the last 30 days. And we all know how hot Tatum's been. Look at the end average on this card. $276. This should not be cheaper than this. These are way harder to find. Way harder to find. This card should be more than this card. I mean, look at the Raw. The Raw sells for $15 more than the base right now. So you're telling me in the PSA 10, it's selling for less on average? Now, to be fair, actually, no, there's recent sales data on both of them. I was going to say maybe this one hadn't sold for a while, and that's causing the lag. But I regularly see these go for sub $300, both of them. This one should be more. To me, this is a buying opportunity. People are going to figure this out, that this one's a lot harder to find, and should be going for a lot more than this one. I just think people aren't super familiar with Select, and it is probably number 3 on the popularity scale behind Prism and Optic. I'd put it in front of Mosaic at this point in time, especially for higher end stuff. But Mosaic is close on its heels because it's a retail release. Select is hobby only. But this should not be cheaper than the PSA 10, the Premier versus the Concourse. It should be quite a bit more, in my opinion. Oh, to give you guys comparison, the Courtside, which I do not have on here. Let me see if base Courtside PSA 10. Yeah, here we go. The Courtside sells for $1,300. So why isn't there a bigger difference between the Raw and the or the Premier and the Concourse. Doesn't make any sense. Courtside base raw, $364. The courtsides are, like I said, very hard to track down. You don't see a lot of them. Once again, this chart goes back 60 days or 30 days. I'm sorry, goes back to June 17th. Concourse 68 raw have sold, 26 Premier have sold, and only 5 courtsides have sold. Now 6 courtside PSA 10s have sold compared to 4 Premiers, which is funny. I don't know pop count on this card, and like I said, PSA's website's jacked. But you can see this one goes for $1,200. It's the rarest of the 3, but this Premier is the middle, and it's cheaper than this one. If you guys like Jason Tatum and you've been priced out of his base Prism, this is about half the price of the base Prism. I'd be looking at this card. So that's card number 1. If you guys have questions about any of this stuff, let me know down below. Card number 2. I briefly mentioned this one if you guys watched the BGS grading video. And this is kind of what actually sent me down this path. I saw this mentioned in the SCI Discord, and it sent me down a rabbit hole, and here we are. This is his PSA 10, this purple line way the hell up here. This dark blue line down here is his BGS 9.5. This yellow is his PSA 9. The PSA 9 and the BGS 9.5, let's scroll down here. PSA 9s, end average, $700. BGS 9.5, $775. What? What? The BGS 9.5 is barely more than the PSA 9? Look at this chart, and then let's look at this one. This is Luka, base, or I'm sorry, PSA 9, BGS 9.5, PSA 10. Look at what this chart looks like. Look at what that chart looks like. Why is this stuck together? So it appears what happened was, let me go back 60 days on this. Okay. There was a little bit of a separation back in May. Not much, though. It was still close for whatever reason. Going along. BGS 9.5 dropped. They were going at 560. For some reason, they dropped down to 405. The PSA 9 continued on the same trend line, and the BGS 9.5 then just mirrored it after this drop. Then something else happens. Around June 12th, these go from selling, the PSA 10s go for selling for around $1,000 to almost 1,400, 1,350. So you see this huge spike here on this graph, and these two just keep on chucking along. Here they separate a little bit, drops back down again. There was never a huge spike here like you see on the PSA 10. Look at this. I mean, this is a massive spike in just a matter of, this went from 613 to 612. In 2 days, this card went up $400 and has been there for the most part ever since. So you follow this line along, once again, trending up. We get here. This is just a few days ago. Boom. Spikes up again. It was going for around that same 1,400 to 1,500. It's pretty much been between 1,400 and 1,600 the last month and a half. Then just recently, pow, spiked up again. I'm guessing anticipation of the playoffs starting back up again and that looking better and better, and the Lakers making a deep run. So this card has had 2 big spike ups. Neither one of the lower 2 have followed suit. So not only do I think the PSA 9 could be a little undervalued, the BGS 9.5 is an absolute steal at the same price or close to the same price as the PSA 9. This should not be like this. These should not be priced this close together. $75 difference between these two on an $800 card. And we come over here and look at the Luka. PSA 10 is $933, PSA 9 is $300, and the BGS 9.5 is $500. There's a $200 difference between a PSA 9 Luka and a BGS 9.5 Luka. And this is on a $1,000 PSA 10 card. So this blue line should be like here. this should be around, I don't know, $1,000 to $1,200. But let's see, Luca is just over half. So these are at 1,800 right now. So these should be at around or around $1,000. So this card to me is at least $300 under where it should be at minimum. Um, this is massive. The market is not treating this card correctly at this point. And what I think is going to happen is you're due for two big bumps. One, I think the Lakers are going to make a deep run, and 80 stuff is going to go nuts. So it's naturally going to go up because of that. And two, the 9.5 is due for a market correction to catch up to the PSA 10. It never got it. The PSA 10 has jumped twice. The BGS 9.5 has not followed suit. In worst case scenario, you could buy these and try to cross them over to PSA 10s. Maybe you strike gold and it jumps to a PSA 10. Maybe you don't even mess with that. I think you're still in line for a fairly good return on that BGS 9.5 AD. This is, once again, a mispriced card. The third one, I'm sorry. We got two more to go. The third one, we're on Select again. Luka's rookie cards. Purple is the premier level that we talked about before on the Tatums. Blue is the concourse that we talked about before. This one has the pop reports. 562 for the concourse, 216 for the premier. Premier was higher. Some reason they crossed paths. This premier's jumped all around, but look now. End average on the concourse, $500. End average on the premier, $425. What? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? This card should be significantly more than that one. Not $75 less. And in my opinion, it looks better. I know it's hard to see on this, but yeah, there you go. To me, that's a nicer looking card than that. Just that, to me, this looks boring. This side. This looks much nicer. And it's rarer. You can see again on the sales, 41 of these have sold, only 17 of these have sold in the same time period. And that makes sense. It's about half the pop count, and this is selling for less. If you're looking to buy Luka's, I'd be targeting this card. And this is cheaper than Select usually lags behind a little bit. So I think it's due for a little bump because of that. And I think once people figure this out, this should jump this very easily and be trending ahead of it. It looks like it might be swinging back that way, but it hasn't caught up yet. And it's still significantly cheaper on those two. The last one we're going to talk about is a little different. So this is PSA 10 LeBron James 2019 base Prism. We've talked about this card before in previous videos in regards to like where's a good place to invest money into if you're just starting out, etc., etc. These currently in PSA 10 are up to $215 on average as of today. The little grading company that could, SGC, I don't have a comparison graph on this one because they're not loaded into the system as a default card, so I have to run a custom query. So it's on a separate. I can't have them compared side by side like this, but this is pretty simple. So the PSA 10 Prism base LeBron is going for around $215 a piece. This is the SGC 10 LeBron. They are going for around. There's a key distinction here. The last couple have sold for sub $100. I know SGC is not on PSA's level in regards to what the market deems them as, but this is way too big of a gap. This card for $85 is a steal. Worst case scenario, you cross it over to a PSA 10. Best case scenario, two things happen. Lakers make a deep run, LeBron goes up on his own. Second thing, SGC has a bunch of cards that are about to get back into people's hands and is going to flood the market, and the market's going to become more accepting of SGC slabs and them as a brand, and people are going to look at them more and be more willing to purchase them. So you're going to get a natural bump because of that. In most other card cases, this gap between an SGC 10 and a PSA 10 is not this wide. There's a key distinction here. These two $80 sales sold at auction. These ones sold at buy it now. So even look at this. This sold on the 8th, the 9th, and the 15th. These two went for buy it nows at 150. These two sold at auction in the mid 80s. This is a trend that I've seen over and over and over again. It's been talked about a lot on Bubbles and Ball Cards YouTube channel and in his Facebook page. It's something a lot of us have come to the conclusion to. SGC cards do not do well at auction. They do very well at best offer / buy it now. This is still a little less than the PSA 10, but that's reasonable. You could have bought this card for 83, posted it 199, buy it now, and probably sold it for this if you were a little patient. It might take you a week or two to sell it, but that's double. Like, what are we doing? So something to keep your eyes peeled for are SGC 10 cards at auction specifically. You could be getting a bunch of extra value there because one, they're going to sell for more underpriced than they should compared to other SGC 10s that are listed at buy it now / best offers. And the fact that I could see SGC 10s not surpassing PSA 10s. I don't know that that'll ever happen, but I could see them narrowing the gap in regards to what they sell for. Let me look at. Let me just thought of this. Okay, BGS 95's not on there. I was gonna see if BGS 95's were on here for the LeBron card, and I don't want to custom chart it. It takes a minute. Usually SGC 10 pricing, a good place to price it is look at a PSA 10 price, a BGS 95 price, and split the difference. That's typically where SGC 10 lines up. But this is a steal at 80 some bucks in an SGC slab. You can see right here they were selling for 150. If I scroll down here, here's 125, and this is going back. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a red, white, and blue. Here's another one, auction, $86. Fixed price, $120. Auction, $86. That was $99.99, but now we're getting back into April and May before these cards took off. So, just another card to look out for. So those are the four. We got Tatum Select Premiers, 80 BGS 95s, Lucas Selects Premier and Base Concourse, and LeBron Prism PSA 10 versus an SGC 10. Those are four cards that I believe are not selling for what they should because the market hasn't caught up to them yet. So if you're looking to pick some stuff up, these would be my recommendations based off of what I'm seeing in the market movers tools and just in general out in the wide world of the various card markets and social media and Facebook groups and all that shenanigans. I'm on that crap all day long, so more than I should be. But take a look at those four cards if you guys are looking for something. I think they're due to go up. Maybe not significantly, but I think there is money to be made on all four of those cards if you guys are in the market. So that's all I got for you today. Do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, leave me a comment down below if you got questions on anything, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.